opportunity for us, personal emergency preparedness, otherwise called PEP, to discuss coordination amongst various agencies in regards to potential implementation of any agreed upon plan. Also to highlight the East Coast trainings and other trainings that we've done throughout the community within the past year. Also an opportunity for everybody to find out more about our lovely CERT program and our CERT team and everything that they've been doing. And I'll get to that in just one brief moment. But really the main focus of the Disaster Council is to review emergency preparedness plans. That's what's clearly required under the municipal code. And for us to do that on a somewhat regular basis, to make sure we're all comfortable with that, provide any updates that's necessary. That's the primary responsibility of this entity. Before I pass it over to Mayor Nagy for any opening comments, just wanted to highlight one particular individual. We have not met during this pandemic, but one individual has been unbelievably busy working behind the scenes, and that gentleman is Mr. Gary. And I don't want to mistake your last name. Is it Zatarain?
Yes, it is.
Zatarain. A little bit about Mr. Zatarain. His work began with Newark CERT in 2001. He's a certified trainer for PEP and CERT under the Newark Fire, and has led multiple trainings over the years. He participates in National Night Out, Newark Days, and other community events promoting our CERT program. He's participated as a part of Newark CERT in response to H1N1 vaccine pod at the Silman Center, which that was pre-pandemic, which seems like a lifetime ago, but also feels eerily like just a couple weeks ago. Participated as part of the Newark CERT to support the Alameda County and the SCU Fire Complex, providing communication support, which again feels like just 2 years ago, but also eternity ago. And during the pandemic, Gary helped CERT continue to do outreach and coordinate with Union City CERT. He's a licensed ham radio operator, has taken the lead to develop a ham radio group within the Newark CERT communications team. And he's a true asset to the city of Newark and Newark CERT. And we thought it'd be appropriate to put a little spotlight on you and thank you for your commendable service.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And Mayor Nagy, I know you always have emphasized to me privately and have spoken publicly about the importance of CERT and this being a volunteer type of community. And I thought it would be appropriate to give you the opportunity to say some words if you're so inclined.
Yeah, thank you, David. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Mayor.
That's a hated phrase. Can you hear me? Yeah, I would just like to comment that, I don't know of any more important project or process that we can have other than these disaster meetings, because, you're responsible for almost 50,000 residents. And, certainly in the time of a natural disaster, which we all hear is coming, they're going to be looking to us for leadership, and certainly to everybody that's in this room to make sure that we're prepared to serve our citizens in the best way possible during any emergency. And these meetings are so important to ensuring that the planning is in place that will accommodate that need that our residents will have in the future. So again, I want to thank everybody for their attention to this meeting and underscore how important it really is. So thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Item 4 is update on City of Newark emergency preparedness, and we do have Mr. Rich Martinez here with us. Mr. Martinez is our shared emergency preparedness coordinator. We share him with our neighbors to the north, the City of Union City. We signed a contract with Union City to share this FTE shortly before the start of the pandemic. 2 months before.
Yep.
The timing on this was just apropos, if that's the word you want to use. And so, in recognition, just kind of dovetail off what Mayor Nagy said, that any emergency, it could be a train issue, a school issue, whatever it is, the reality is the community is looking to the city to provide that local leadership and support. And in recognizing how fundamentally important it is, we talked with Union City and we came out with this memorandum of understanding a shared FTE solely dedicated to emergency preparedness. And Mr. Martinez, it's been a pleasure working with you the past 3 years. Your job was refocused in the first, 30 days of your appointment to this position. We just wanted to thank you for all the work that you performed during this pandemic and all the work that you put into preparing for this meeting and all the other emergency preparedness actions that you've done in the past few years. So thank you.
Thank you.
So you have the floor. You have item 4.
Item 4. We have our update, and this will be a little slow, but an update on the Newark emergency preparedness. So we're going to cover what we did as a city in 2022 for employee preparedness. We'll then cover our 2022 community outreach that we did, as well as an update on a local hazard mitigation project that will be coming up, and our 2023 community outreach plans. So to get started, we look at our 2022 employee preparedness update. So in 2022, we partnered with ACFD and we provided 3 PEP or personal emergency preparedness trainings for all our city staff. These PEP trainings are really good for putting a disaster plan together for yourself and your family. So that way, when a disaster does strike, we know our families are safe and that we can come in and serve the community much sooner, knowing our families are safe. We also did a recording of one of the trainings, and we have that available for any time an employee wants to view that. We also rolled out disaster service worker training refresher. So as we all know, all employees are disaster service workers, and so we wanted to do a refresh on that to make sure that all employees are familiar with the idea that they are a disaster service worker during time of disasters. And then we also rolled out online FEMA training for all staff. And that one, what we did was we used the foundational training of IS 100, which is Introduction to Incident Command System, and IS 700, which is Introduction to National Incident Management System, or NIMS. Those are going to be the foundations that we use when we're responding to disasters in our emergency operations center and any of the responses that we do. So I think we had a really good year, and we're going to finish strong, because I think we're also going to be providing one more PEP training upcoming in November. So 2022 community outreach update. Again, ACFD, Lincoln and his team have been excellent partners. They provided 2 LISTOS trainings, and I want to recognize Eda as well. She was the one who brought the group together. It was 2 Spanish-speaking LISTOS trainings. And what LISTOS is kind of the next step to from PEP. It actually takes all the things that you should be doing to plan for disaster preparedness, and they sit you and walk you through putting that plan together. So we also provided 4 PEP trainings for community members, and these trainings were open to all community members, and we got a really good turnout. And I believe we also have one more community training coming up in November as well. And we've been posting those on social media. I want to recognize Lori as well. She's been a great partner in getting that out there on social media. So also recently I participated in a Prepare You panel. This is a region-wide program called Prepare You. They actually walk community members through a safety program. And so what I did was I sat on the panel to talk about how community members could participate in disaster preparedness within their community. So I really, talked about CERT and how great of a job our CERT team is doing right now. So that was awesome. And then also, I've been working with the American Red Cross. Cindy Lewin, who is on the call right now, she joined. She's been a great partner with the Red Cross, helping me to update our shelter annex. We started a working group with our recreation department, the Newark Unified School District, and Fremont Tri-City Animal Shelter to try and figure out, if we had a major incident, what shelters are we going to open up? How is that process going to look, so that we can get that annex updated? So a lot of great work. Kane is on the call as well. He helped us go through and identify the different shelters that we're going to use and put together a plan around that. And I want to thank Nick as well. Nick was very helpful in showing us around and answering all the questions we had around the preparedness. So thank you. Let's see. Next up is the local hazard mitigation plan. So in 2017, Newark partnered with Union City, Alameda County Water District, and it's going to come back. Alameda County Water District and Union Sanitary District to develop our current local hazard mitigation plan. That is now currently going to be, I don't know why that's not coming back. Yeah. There it goes. So that's coming up for update and renewal. Back in June of 2021, the city of Newark, Union City, and Fremont, along with AC Water and Union Sanitary District, got together and decided to apply for a FEMA grant to help write our upcoming local hazard mitigation plan. That did not get authorized until September of 2022. That took quite a while to get through the process. But Fremont was, who's going to be the lead agency, was awarded the FEMA grant. They are going to council this month to get their city council to accept the award. And then we will be working with Fremont to develop the RFP and go through the selection process along with AC Water and USD. And we tentatively plan to kick off the local hazard mitigation project plan in January of 2023. So, and we believe that we're going to have that finished by the end of 2023 and in place, ready to go to City Council for adoption by December of 2023. So our 2023 community outreach plan, we continue to plan to work with Alameda County Fire to schedule additional PEP and LISTOS trainings. We think that those are very effective for community members to put a plan together. If they are ready for disaster, then we won't have as many people that we potentially have to plan for if they have a plan already. We're also working with Ann Stedler to provide outreach to our business partners. So we're looking to identify both small business and large businesses and understand what their needs are around, and mostly it's going to be focused around recovery, the recovery process. How do they get their money back? But we're also going to be trying to provide them PEP and LISTOS trainings as well. If their employees are prepared for a disaster, then they can get their business back up and running soon as well. So we'll be doing a lot of outreach to them. And then we're also going to be doing community outreach, both faith-based and community-based organizations, trying to build a coalition around whole community response. So when a disaster happens, our community members are going to be the ones that we're going to be leaning on to help us get through the process. So we really want to build that, that partnership, understand what they can do and understand what support we can provide them when the disaster happens. So, so that's our plan for 2023. And you want me to move to the CERT updates?
Actually, why don't we pause here? Yeah. You provided a considerable amount of information that just, it is a lot of work, and I thank you for doing that. There's just an absolute lot of coordination and projects going on. I guess I have a question, and that is going back to the LHMP. You said draft by end of 2023, and then adoption in.
We're looking at potentially the adoption by December of 2023.
Oh, December of 2023.
Yeah.
The draft was by 2023. Okay.
We're going to encourage our contractors to, be effective.
Okay. All right. Well, does anybody have any questions or comments?
$250,000. And that's a multi-jurisdictional plan. You know, we really believe that having all three cities and the two districts is going to make for a really solid plan, you know, since we're all in the same area. And the two districts serve all three cities.
Right. Disasters still respect our jurisdictional boundaries.
Right.
Okay. Anybody on Zoom have any questions? Anybody else in this room?
One question, Rich. Over the course of the local hazard mitigation plan preparation, how many times would you anticipate this body meeting? Like, it seems like the last go around, it was.
Yeah, it's good.
At least 2 or 3 iterations.
Yeah, so part of the plan is to do community outreach, and we'll be using Disaster Council as our you know, our motive to do outreach. So I could see 2 or 3 times. Union City will probably have to do the same, and so does Fremont. So you know, we'll have to be creative on how we do that, but I can anticipate at least 2 or 3 times next year doing outreach.
Any other questions, comments? Anybody on Zoom? All right. Well, again, thank you. That was very informative. Next one is CERT update, sir.
CERT update. So let me move down to our CERT update. So Newark CERT. When I first arrived in Newark, we had 2 active CERT members, Gary and David, and they were very passionate about CERT, and I really appreciated that. And so the 3 of us sat down, and we kind of came up with a strategy of how do we do outreach, how do we, you know, increase our numbers. And so those 2 went to work, and they started attending, you know, community events, doing outreach. And, you know, because of COVID, we were very limited in what we could do, but we were pretty smart about what we did. They held a virtual, you know, town hall to answer questions about what CERT is and how people could participate. So I really appreciate them doing that. We also partnered with the Union City CERT because we had very low numbers, and so did Union City because of COVID. We thought we could leverage the 2 programs, and it's actually worked out really well. The 2 programs work well together. We do trainings together, and it's increased our numbers of people showing up, whether they're CERT members or not, or just community members who want to learn more about CERT. So I thought that was a really good thing, and we're going to continue to do that in 2023. The CERT team also supported the county in the SEU fire response. So they got out there and answered the phones and helped their community. Alameda County Fire again stepped up and you know, was creative during the COVID time and offered us a hybrid CERT academy during the pandemic. So that includes the people who were taking the academy to do IS 317, which is introduction to the CERT, as well as a University of Utah online program. And so they've completed that. The last piece of the CERT Academy that they need to do is the practical, the hands-on portion of actually doing the training. And we currently have it scheduled for October 22nd. Somebody's writing. So the practical scheduled for October 22nd and 29th. And we're going to be hosting that over at the Silliman Center. It's going to be all day on Saturday and Sunday. We have about 12 people from the community who are signed up and ready to take the training. So we're going to be waiting at the door when they graduate to show them, you know, the task book that we've created. That's another thing that ACFD, Jill Dutchover, presented or provided to us was a task book. And she did that for both Newark and Union City. what we did was we identified the different types of responses that our CERT team could potentially do. And we turned it into a task book and said, okay, let's have them train against this, and then we'll, sign off that they did that. And Gary and David took that and they modified it to what they believe Newark CERT would be doing. So we released that, and we're going to be training to that in 2023. So here's and I know it's a little small there, but here's our tentative 2023 training schedule. All of these trainings are from the task book. We have traffic control training, and Jolie, you've been so helpful, and Newark PD has been very helpful in this. We're going to be reaching out to you to see if we can coordinate that for March. What we like to do is 2 months out of each quarter have evening trainings that are virtual, so that they're open to community members as well as CERT members. And then once a quarter, we like to do hands-on training where we bring the only CERT members together and do actual training. So traffic control is one. In June, we're looking to do a tabletop exercise on how we're going to activate the CERT program. We may be reaching out to some of you to ask to participate in that tabletop exercise. Then we're also going to be doing, we're going to be partnering with Red Cross to try and bring in some shelter training as well in September. So we have a pretty wide range of different subjects that our CERT team is going to be doing, but we think that all of these are going to be things that during a disaster we may be asking our CERT team to do. And then finally, part of the reason why we're here at the Disaster Council is we're requesting authorization from the Disaster Council to conduct hands-on training for 1 year, so that we can have that all completed. It has to be changed. I'll get that to you. But thank you.
On top of it.
Yeah, I'm on top of it. So as you can see, California Code Regulation Title 19, subsection 2573.1, and that's a lot of other numbers, just says that DSW volunteers are provided workers comp benefits while participating in training activities if their training is pre-approved and supervised and documented by the Disaster Council. So we're here requesting the authorization.
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments before we take up this vote? Any questions or comments about CERT updates or disaster service workers training?
Just a question with CERT, are there CERT teams going to be equally distributed through the community, or are there areas in our community that you're targeting that there are not teams?
We will deploy our resources as required. Are you familiar with zone haven? Okay, so there may be a zone or two here in Newark that needs special help. We may concentrate our numbers that we can provide to help them in that area, depending upon what the disaster is. If it's a large industrial disaster, no, that's outside of the scope of CERT. But in residential areas, that's where they can be most effective.
Well, and also with the caveat that the EOC will be the ones who stand them up and deploy them based on what the needs of the city is. They will not self-deploy to anywhere. The EOC will develop a plan and identify where the CERT team is needed. Yeah. The one thing we're also looking to do is we've come up with this kind of a 3-level or 3-tier CERT program, and I'll admit I stole it from San Francisco. They have a neighborhood emergency response team. So the way we want to promote our CERT team is there are 3 different levels. We encourage everyone to take CERT, but you can either take CERT because you want to make sure that you and your family are safe and that you have the training to be able to take care of your family. That's one level. The second level is you want to take care of yourself and your neighbors, right, within your neighborhood. And so that's the second level. And then the third level is this group of people who want to go out and help the whole community. We're also looking to stand up a ham radio section. Gary has said that he's going to take the lead on that to build a ham radio team. So if we need that, but if we do the 3 different levels and we know where the CERT members are, whether it's they're taking care of their family, they're taking care of their neighborhood, or they want to help the whole city, we then have an idea as an EOC on how we're going to, what areas we really need to focus on. So we're really going to encourage people, take CERT, even if it's just for yourself, take CERT so you can make sure you and your family are safe. So.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Go ahead.
I have a comment. The preparedness book that we talked about, it lays out a criteria that we abide by and train from. Rich can provide that for you if you so think it's important to read, because it's a good document that really talks about credibility of skills and our intent to help as best as we can.
I can do that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Incorporate that into our trainings. Yes,
There you go.
please. Any other questions, comments? Anybody on Zoom?
Are there any comments in there? I'm sorry.
All right, well, the requested action item before us is for that training for 1 year. Does anybody have any objections or concerns? Or can we all vote yes? Yes, all right, acceptance by silence. All right.
All right.
The next item is public comment. Is there any comment anybody would like to make for anything, either on the agenda or not on the agenda? Going once, twice, everybody's Zoom. All right. Roundtable, anybody have any updates, concerns? No? Haven't seen this public comment? All right. Future meeting, Mr. Martinez, in the past, we would do twice a year, once in the fall, once in the spring.
Mhm.
Obviously, with the pandemic, we haven't met years. Would you like to meet in the spring? And if so, what would you propose we discuss?
I would propose that we look at spring and that local hazard mitigation will be on the topics to talk
That
about.
way is where we stand on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. The other is potentially the CEMP, the Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan,
Yes.
to talk about the status of that. So.
Okay. We have council meetings April 13th, April 27th. And we should probably confirm with our new chair, whoever that will be.
Right.
We'll find out, I guess, on November 8th. You could schedule something that's a tentative poll for March 9th or March 23rd. We'll do March and then April 27th.
Could we tentatively schedule for April 27th?
Absolutely, we can. We could all pencil in that date, and Mr. Martinez, you could put out a poll for everybody's calendar.
Sure.
In a month or two, I will ask the chair-elect if that date is okay.
Okay.
All right. 6:11, unless anybody has any other further business, we can consider this meeting adjourned. All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
Thank you.
Mr. Martinez.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, since it was talking about bus